Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and today on this episode we are here in beautiful Huntington Beach, California for Jeep Bash 2018. You know, we did this event last year and it was awesome. They've moved it this year and there should be hundreds of Jeeps here. So the plan on this video, guys, is we're gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you some of the very cool standout Jeeps from this event. I think there's gonna be some awesome rigs here. Now, before we get started, I wanna let you know that we have a TrailRecon Amazon shop. If you click the link down below, guys, you'll find out all the gear that I'm running on my Jeep, and if there's something there for you, go check it out. It really helps support the channel. All right, this should be a great day, guys. Let's go check out some Jeeps. I arrived fairly early in the morning to Jeep Bash because my good friends at KC Highlights invited me to display my Jeep at their booth, which was really cool. This event is hosted by the good folks at Evo with many other supporting sponsors. And while there are many awesome built manufacturers Jeeps on display, my favorite part was walking around the parking lot and checking out all the average guys and gals Jeep builds. There are so many amazing modified Jeeps here at Jeep Bash. It was not easy to pick my favorites. And let me say that my picks are not the most built, the most expensive, the most flashy, but they're just the ones that made me stop and pause and say, man, I really like that rig. I like the work that's been done. I like the style. I'll show you a bunch of other Jeeps on display here as well, but here we go. Let's start the countdown of my favorite top 10 Jeeps of Jeep Bash 2018. Jeep number 10. The first Jeep on my countdown is this highly modified JKU. There were a whole lot of JKs at this event, but the closer I looked at this white one, the more I saw just how much work and thought was put into this build. The custom upgrades that have been done to the suspension are rock solid. And the coilovers and remote reservoir mounts, yeah, that is a dream setup. What I really like is the Jeep looks like it's been well used and is ready to hit the trail. Definitely worthy of this top 10 list. Jeep number 9. For those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I am a huge classic car guy, and anytime I see one of these old Jeepsters on the road, I have a genuine appreciation for what it takes to keep an old vehicle like this chugging along. Seeing this side by side with a new JL was pretty cool, with all the styling characteristics that have been carried over the years from one generation to the next. While this is a rough looking rig, it's simple and it's been well modified, and it's definitely trail worthy and why it belongs on my top 10 list. Jeep number 8. I get asked all the time what I think about the new JLs, and I love them. And this is, without a doubt, one of the cleanest, heavily modified JLs I've seen so far. You know, it's a little unassuming at first glance, which I really appreciate. But the closer you get, the more you see just how much work has been put into this JL. Peeking underneath, you'll see that there's some solid reinforcements to the axles and suspension. There's a long arm kit, which I'll bet makes this thing drive like a dream down the road. The bumpers are really sleek looking, and I really like the paint match fenders. It's just a really good looking design. But those 40s on those rims, yeah, those are really, really nice. I admittedly spent a little too much time drooling over this Jeep, but I really like this JL. Very nice. Jeep number 7. I have seen very few Grand Cherokees as nice as this one. Most of the ones out on the trails are pretty beaten up. It was refreshing to see one so well taken care of, and the color on this thing in the sun, wow, it just pops. I love the stance, and all the clean looking modifications that have been done are really on point. It's not over the top, but just enough to make this a great looking rig and a capable trail Jeep. Jeep number 6. So truth be told, I have been eyeballing this Jeep on Instagram for a while, and it was really awesome to be able to finally see it in person up close. This heavily modified JKU is Rebel Off-Road's command vehicle, and I could probably spend a half hour talking about everything on this Jeep. It just looks amazing, and I've seen them wheel this thing in some videos, so it's nice to see that it actually gets some good use out on the trail. Under the hood, it's got a nice little treat. Yeah, I'd love to have a V8 like that. And you really can't get too much more aggressive than 42-inch Maxxis tires. These things are the beefiest tires around, in my opinion. This is not only a show-worthy Jeep, but it's also ready to conquer any trail out there. So nicely done. Before we move on to my top 5 favorite Jeeps of Jeep Bash, let me just say I love these kinds of events. I had the opportunity to meet so many of you guys here. That was so cool to be able to shake your hands and thank you for supporting the channel. And then just walking around and looking at everyone's Jeep was really just so much fun for me. It's always great to see how folks choose to upgrade their Jeeps, and the modification styles really are endless. No two Jeeps at this event looked alike. One of the really neat personalized touches I enjoy seeing is when owners name their Jeep and display it on the hood. It's always fun to see what people come up with. A wheel and tire combination on a Jeep really says a lot about the type of Jeep it is and a little bit about the owner's character. I think it's really cool to see what people come up with, and there were some really awesome ones here at the show. Alright, time to get back to the countdown. We're getting close to my favorite Jeep of Jeep Bash 2018. Jeep number 5. Alright, I know what you're already going to say. Another silver Jeep JL, Brad? You've already shown us one. Well, look, let me tell you, this one is packed full of awesomeness. There is a lot going on with this Jeep. And what I really like is this shows off just how much more manufacturers are finally starting to bring more JL parts to market. And we are getting to see what some future builds might look like on just some of the average guys' Jeeps. I think from top to bottom and even on the inside, this is a dream Jeep. I don't think I'm ready to trade in my JK just yet, but I'd be lying if I said seeing a build like this doesn't make me think about it. Jeep number 4. Does this red and black Jeep JK just scream, let's go hit a trail right now, or what? I mean, it's ready to go. I love this little two-door. It really seems like the owner put a lot of thought into this purpose-built trail Jeep. And not only does it have some really amazing upgrades, but there are a few little nice personal touches that I really thought were pretty cool as well. I'll bet this thing is a blast to wheel on the trail. Jeep number 3. I did mention early on I'm a classic car guy, so of course a Jeep like this is going to be near the top of my top 10 list. This is a 1958 FC 170. The owner has tried to keep this thing as original as possible, and the exterior was the result of sanding down several coats of paint. I think it looks perfect. It's pure raw utility Jeep. No fancy luxuries here, just some metal, some rubber, some glass, just raw vehicle. Now you're not gonna go tackle the Rubicon Trail in a Jeep like this, but man, come on, give me the keys, let me go find some long dirt road up in the mountains on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, that would be pure bliss right there. Jeep number 2. So of course there had to be an XJ on my top 10 list, and hands down, this might be my favorite XJ ever, not just at the show. This two-door Cherokee has been race built by NRT, and just about every area of this Jeep has been given a little attention to make it fast and reliable on the trail. Now this is not a Jeep you're going to daily drive, but how could you not be smiling ear to ear every time you got behind the wheel in this thing? I love this XJ, and I took a lot of notes while I was looking up close at this thing. There is so much to love about this XJ, so nice. And now, my favorite Jeep of Jeep Bash 2018. When I first saw the reveal of Sandstorm many months ago, I was in pure awe. This thing is beautiful. But when I saw this thing in person, oh, come on. It's so nice. This Jeep drove up and it was roaring like a trophy truck. There is no question it's got plenty of horsepower under the hood. I would love to grab a hold of the keys to this beast and drive it through the desert. I'll bet it is a ton of fun and probably handles every bump like it's not even there. I love every modified styling change they have made to this thing. Evo built this Jeep for the folks over at Jeep, and it is hands down my favorite JL out there, and definitely the nicest Jeep here at the show. Jeep Bash 2018 was so awesome, and I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to meet so many of you guys. Thank you for coming up, saying hello, letting me shake your hand, and thanking you for supporting the channel. What a great event, and so many awesome Jeeps here today. We didn't even get to see them all, guys. I'm sorry, but I didn't have time to film every Jeep, but the ones we saw I think were very cool. Look, I am excited to come back here next year. I am going to do this event as often as I can because it's such a cool community. Now, me and a couple guys, we're going to head out and go hit the trail tonight and do a little camping. It should be a great way to end this day. We're really looking forward to it. Hey, if you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. And when you're out on the trails, please travel responsibly. Thanks for watching.